Good day, Sanbonani, Ninjani. My name is Umpumelelo Kamshengo Shabalala Chaku Tongala Mavuso Mavuso Mhlophe officer Nakuba Nkena. Today I just want to speak or rather explain what is a BSS degree when you're applying into university. So this is specifically for anyone who wants to enroll in a Bachelor's of Social Science. In some institutions in South Africa, they call it BSS Foundation or BSS 4. The difference in BSS 4 is that you do an extra year, which is taken in your first year. So your first year is more like a foundation course or introduction to university and the academic space. This is specifically for students who studied in schools situated in impoverished places or townships and rural areas. So these are for the schools. These are for the students who studied in schools that don't have enough resources as compared to others in the urban areas. So if you look at your matric certificates, there's always that quintile 1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So that's how they select students to go into BSS 4. Obviously, their points are much lower compared to BSS in the original form. So Bachelor of Social Science is a very broad degree. It includes the various modules or subjects under humanities. You'd find things like psychology, industrial psychology, IULS, you find anthropology inside social science, you find languages, and you also find geography, you find tourism, you find development studies, community development, sociology. So you just select the studies or the modules you want to major in. And obviously, let's say you do a Bachelor's of Social Science and you major in geography and tourism, for instance. So the question is, where can you work with such a degree in South Africa? To be honest, there are less employment opportunities when it comes to these degrees. For instance, when it comes to working with DSD, Department of Social Development, mostly they would want a social worker first preference, and now they also on a journey of registering people who did BSS in community development and or in development studies. So sometimes when you just have a degree in sociology, it becomes a hiccup situation when it comes to finding more posts for your job specifically, because most of the time they would require rather abandoned social work in these degrees, in these employment sectors. But then, yeah, you can also work for the municipality, you can also work for NGOs, which are non-government organizations. They also pay less most of the time, but if you're lucky enough, you'd get a job in the municipality with some good benefits. Obviously, that's the only thing you'd get, kwahulumeni. Other than that, you can also try the private sector, and if not that, always because in university I used to tutor students who are doing mostly BSS and BA. My first tutorials will always be like career development, where are they gonna be after 3 years after finding them in the first year, as they would meet me in the tutorials. So I would always advise students to take a broader look at what they are doing. For instance, I tutored like modules like tourism, community development, and I would say they must select some teaching modules to do PGCE after doing the BSS. Some have done that, and today they're working because I started tutoring in 2017. So some of the students are postgrad now. And on social media, we follow each other and so on. You get to see, oh, Lo Senzo Wuti, he's done. Some would come back after years, ask for some advice, and so on. But to deal with the issue of employment in South Africa in these degrees, just try by all means to always select teaching modules so that after doing BSS yakho, you can also go and do a PGCE, which is a postgraduate certificate. I have a video where I explain what is a postgraduate certificate, but in summary, it's a postgrad certificate that allows you to do a teaching or have a qualification degree and become a teacher in South Africa. So it just takes 1 year, wins a few modules, and then you do a MAPREX for the year, and voila, you're done. In 4 years, you have EBSS, and you also have a PGCE, which is like 2 degrees in a space of 4 years, where someone who has a B.Ed has just 1 degree. So you have more places to look for employment. And yeah, so these are just some of the advices I'd give. And in terms of planning, just make sure you have a teaching subject from first year up until third year, about 2 at least. Thank you very much. Do remember to subscribe, like, and follow wherever I go and whatever I say. Find me on YouTube. Find me on YouTube as Umfanaka Mshengu. Find me on Instagram as Gajifash, which is my business page. Thank you. Take care. Peace.